Part of her budget passed by the state legislature last spring, Governor Kathy Hochul called for up to 3 of New York's 42 state prisons to be closed.
Well, the first shoe in that plan dropped today. Channel 2's Dave McKinley says while this will impact a prison in Western New York, Dave, no jobs are expected to be lost?
None, Mary Alice. The Department of Corrections announced today it would be closing one prison. It's called Bear Hill. It's up in the North Country, while consolidating operations at Collins Correctional in southern Erie County. Neither move came unexpectedly. Collins Correctional has 2 campuses, one of which had already been mostly shuttered. The Department of Corrections will close the remaining dorm on the south compound and consolidate that operation into the north. State Senator Pat Gallivan's district includes Collins.
The commissioner assured me that nobody will lose their position. Here in our own backyard, people that are located at one of the facilities will simply cross the driveway to go to the other.
And the Department of Corrections notes that Bear Hill, now set to close in March, has other prisons nearby where its 293 workers can be employed, or at any of the other prisons across the state, which remain severely understaffed after the governor fired 2,000 corrections officers for staging a wildcat strike early this year over unsafe working conditions. The state also notes that its prison population has declined in recent decades.
There are fewer prisoners. You need as many prisons.
Well, and I think therein lies, to me, this is really the sort of a larger thematic effort to have less people in jail, not because maybe they're committing less crimes, but because we've classified those crimes differently. We're not locking people up for crimes that we used to lock them up for in the past.
The union, which represents prison guards, claims the prison population has actually increased in the last few years. While conceding no one will lose their jobs, it still opposes these moves. Its president saying consolidating an already growing population into fewer prisons makes it harder to separate violent individuals from the general population, guarantees more assaults on staff and incarcerated people alike, and further fuels the cycle of violence and attrition.
We have chronic understaffing. We still have the HALT Act is still in place that severely handicaps the tools that correction officers have. We're still facing the violence and the contraband issues that we've seen. So there's larger problems that closing prisons just isn't going to solve.
The union says it would rather the state keep the number of prisons it currently has and adequately staff them. Meanwhile, Gallivan doesn't expect any other prison closures this year, but he did note that the legislature did change a rule that used to require 1 year's notice to close a prison to now require only 90 days. On your side in the newsroom, Dave McKinley, Channel 2 News.
All right, Dave.